Therapy Gecko's on the line, taking your phone calls every night. Therapy Gecko's doing it right, he's teaching you how to live your life, but he's not really an expert.
Call from
Constance.
Conference?
It's Constance.
Constance.
Yes.
Like the state of consistency.
Yes.
Do you feel like you as a person are consistent?
At points, yes. If I have enough motivation.
What gives you motivation?
That is a good question. Most of the time, nothing. It just comes in random spurts.
What do you do when you get a random spurt of motivation?
Schoolwork. A lot of it.
Are you in college?
Yes.
What do you study?
I'm currently just doing my first 2 years. I go to a community college, so I'm just trying to get my first 2 years over with the basics.
Constance sounds like the name of a fortune teller.
Yeah. It's, I can't remember where it originated from. I used to study my name a lot. If that sounds weird, I don't know.
Constance, are you ridiculous?
I am not. I think I'm very level-minded, and it weirds people out.
It weirds people out, you say?
Yes, because a lot of people, when put in certain situations, they'll become very emotional, and I don't do that.
Tell me about a situation in which others are usually emotional, but you are not.
This is very extreme, but whenever I was 11, my mother passed away, and I just thought about it as I can't do anything about it, and I just kind of have to move on with my life and hope for the best and work on myself. And my dad thought I was a sociopath, but, you know.
See, this is interesting because this seems like one of those things that's both a blessing and a curse, you know? Like, obviously, you know, when you don't feel as hard as other people do, you avoid all the bad stuff. But do you think that that also causes you to avoid all the good stuff there is about being emotional?
Yes, most definitely. I'll see my friends get worked up over things or really excited over certain things, like us hanging out. But to me, I'm like, it's just another day. I don't feel excited or anything.
How do you feel about your stoic nature? Do you wish that you were more emotional? Are you envious of your friends, or do you like the way that you operate?
Well, there's been times where I've wished that I was more emotional, but I have had moments whenever I do become extremely emotional, and I hate it so much. I honestly would just prefer it how I am now. It's just so much easier on me.
What do you hate about it?
It just stresses me out so bad. I have so much anxiety over it.
Do you think you have anxiety over it because it's not something you're used to?
I would say so, yes.
There's lots of ways that I feel like you could use stoicism to your advantage, because, and again, I'm not a real therapist, but I do find this particular thing very interesting, because this is like one of those things where you could either be like, all right, I'm going to work really hard to change this about myself, or I'm going to work really hard to just accept this about myself and make the best of my life that I can, accepting that I'm just by my own nature, for whatever reason, a very stoic person.
Right. Yeah, it kind of sucks overall because, like I said, I don't really get excited over things, or I don't really get angry or any of those. But whenever I'm forced into something I'm not used to, or I'm doing something that I don't usually do, I get really stressed out, and my anxiety is just crazy over the roof. And I don't know what to do with myself.
Have you spoken to a real therapist about any of this?
I have not, but because of a lot of things that I've gone through as a child, that's my plan. That's what I want to major in. I want to major in psychology.
This is interesting because I wonder if your lack of feeling as emotional as other people will help you or hinder you in attempting to help them with their emotions. What do you think about that?
Well, I've had the same worries before, and something I looked into before deciding that I wanted to go to school to become a therapist was that a lot of times your professors will force you to go and take therapy because you have to know what it's like to be in the other seat. You have to know what it's like to be that patient.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I feel like it'll help me more because I won't, in a way, I'll understand how they're feeling, but I also won't get overly emotional. And I'll be able to listen to them and help them maybe think more logically about those things and make them feel more comfortable. But I don't know.
See, all right, that right there is sort of what I was talking about, right? How if you're like a really, stoic, logic thinking person who's not very driven by emotion, instead of looking at that as a weakness, you're looking at it as more of a strength, and you're like, okay, well, how can I use this as a strength? And that's an example, if you were to go into becoming a therapist and saying, well, I think very logically, and maybe I would pair up well with clients who are more emotional, and I could help them think more logically and stoically. And then, you do that and it works, and you're like, oh shit, this thing that, possibly people have been telling me there's something wrong with me, I'm actually harnessing it as a important tool of mine to help other people.
Right. There
cool.
was a lot. Yeah. A lot of my family thinks it's pretty cool. I've been through so many different mindsets and changes on what I want to be. Like at one point I wanted to be a surgeon, and then I wanted to be a doctor, and then a nurse, and then a teacher, and now I want to be a therapist. So who knows, maybe I'll change my mind, maybe I won't. But
well, thank you so much for calling in, Constance.
Of course.
You have a good rest of the night. Thank you for sharing.
You too, bye.
Call from
Dar.
That was a kind of cool noise. Dar.
Hey. How are you doing, Geck?
Are you ridiculous?
I thought about this question the last time you asked it, and I was like, I think I am, because I have a tendency to laugh at things that are just wildly inappropriate.
Like what?
So today, for example, I walk into my wife's store. She works at a coffee shop, and I'm like, I see her boss walk out, and she has one of those like clear masks on, and I'd never seen one of those before. And I just started laughing because I thought it was so weird to see someone's face.
So you're just laughing at your wife's face?
No, my wife's boss face.
Oh, does he have a funny... Let me ask you something. Forgetting about the absurdity of the clear mask, did this guy have, just in general, a funny looking face?
Kind of, because you don't get the nose and you get like all the lips, and it's kind of like out of context. So you see their eyes, and then you see a pair of lips, and then just like a black cloth around it.
Do you know what his name was?
Oh, it's actually a girl. Her boss is a girl. And
she
Sarah.
had a funny face.
Yes.
Where did you meet your wife?
I met my wife on Twitter.
On Twitter?
Yeah, she lived in Ohio, and I lived in Arizona.
Did it start in a DM or in a public thread?
It started in a DM, actually.
What did you DM her?
I said that I liked her style.
Wow. I'm really happy to hear that worked out for you.
Yeah. Now we got a 3-year-old, and we're married.
Do you like being married?
I absolutely love it.
What else do you laugh at that's inappropriate?
One time, like, I was in, like, a lobby of a place, and this customer starts, like, throwing, like, the typical, like, Karen stink, and I just started laughing, and it's, like, kind of like an uncontrollable thing, like a tick that comes out, and I just started laughing, and then the lady started getting mad at me for laughing at her, like, yelling at, like, this person who was just trying to make their food.
I understand why you would laugh at that. I mean, there's a lot of content out on the internet of people yelling, and people do find it funny. So I understand why you would find it funny in real life. Because it is kind of ridiculous that the person is yelling.
Yeah, maybe it's not like me being ridiculous, but me being sane in a ridiculous area.
Thank you for calling, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Call from. To accept, press.
Hello? Are you there? Is anyone there? Are we alone in the universe? Is there life outside of Earth? And if there was, would they like us?
Hello?
What if there was a
Hello?
whole other race of intelligent life? I'm here. If there was a whole other race of intelligent life and they didn't like us, would we care? Would we be all like upset that they don't like that the aliens don't think that we're cringe? What do you think?
I honestly do think aliens would be ashamed of the human race.
Really? Why?
I mean, all of the videos on the YouTube space and the memes, and it's just our shitty humor. I don't know. I just don't.
But we wouldn't be judged. We would be judged by our best. We would be judged by like Mark Twain or whatever. I think that like the human race, if we had like we had to present ourselves, I don't think we would. And we got to pick. We probably wouldn't pick internet memes. We would show them.
You're probably not wrong, but at the same time, it's like UFO sightings and everything like that. They've probably been just observing us for a while at that point.
Why haven't they stepped in? Why haven't they come to kill us or make out
because they see
with
how
us?
fucking stupid we are. They're like,
What
nah,
if-
we're like little ants.
So if a human has sex with an animal, it doesn't make a baby. But if a human had sex with another intelligent life form, an alien, that could make another sort of species of intelligent life form. Like what if there was like another like breed of
like
intelligent life?
interbreeding with aliens.
Yes, if we interbreeded with aliens and we formed a whole new integrated society, and then those they had well, I guess if they had sex, if the two babies had sex with each other, then it would just make, or would it make a third
I feel like
kind
it
of
wouldn't
thing?
make. I don't think they would be intelligent. I feel like that's going down like the inbreeding path between humans, where
Well-
they get really fucked up.
Well, okay, well then, if that's the thing, then if you go back through humanity, eventually, at some point we had to inbreed. There was, right?
Yeah, but like that's what causes like degenerative like stuff, like you know what I'm saying?
Are you ridiculous?
I don't think so. I don't want to
Why
be.
not? Why not? You don't want. All right, so you think that you are, but you do not want to be.
Yeah, probably.
All right, what makes you think that you are?
Some of the things I say sometimes just get like weird looks. I don't know. Like, I have shit sense of humor too. That's why I think aliens wouldn't like us. Like, my sense of humor is pretty terrible. So that's what I was going off of.
So I think, all right, so you're kind of, I think you think aliens wouldn't like you specifically.
Yeah,
Not the
probably.
human race.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I was basing off myself.
So you wish you were less ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that don't want to be perceived in any way, shape, or form. So
I'm curious, what, so you called into this stream, and there are like thousands of people perceiving you right now. Well,
yeah,
what
but they
made
can't
you
like see my
decide that?
face and attach it. Like right now, I'm just kind of a disembodied voice.
This
you know?
is true, but you are identified as a human being that lives on Earth.
Yes, but I can distance myself, like, from who I am on the stream and who I am actually. You know?
Do you feel like you are presenting a personality right now that is different from who you actually are?
No, but they don't know that.
How do you feel now that they do?
I mean, it could just be 180 in it, you know?
Why are you so afraid of being perceived?
That's a really loaded question. I don't know. Probably because anxiety.
Do you think that you're unworthy of being perceived?
Oh my god. This is getting real deep. Probably. I don't. Yeah.
What makes someone, in your opinion, worthy of being perceived?
Whether or not they actually contribute to society. Like, and I think a lot of people are just like NPCs, just walking around, just doing their thing, not really contributing. They're just existing. They're not really living. And I feel like that's what I'm doing.
So you think of yourself as an NPC?
Essentially, yeah. I day in and day out, I just exist. I don't really do anything.
Would you like to do things?
Probably. At
What
some
things would you
point.
like to do?
Like get an education and help people.
There's a lot of ways to help people.
Yeah, there is. But at this point, like, I wake up, I go to work, I work as a waitress. That's not really helping people in any way. And then I
What do you
come
mean
home.
That's not helping people. That's absolutely it. Hold
Well,
on,
I mean, like, in a
yeah,
meaningful way. Like,
how do
giving
you-
someone-
What do you define as a meaningful way?
Like, a life-changing way. I feel like, yeah, like, providing a service is helping someone, but at the same time, like, not. Like, it's doing something that they could do for themselves.
But to say that you don't contribute to society as a waitress, I mean, you actively contribute to the economy. All right, you get paid money, right?
Yes.
Where does your money come from? Your money comes from the restaurant, which people give money to because people feel as though the service that the restaurant provides is valuable, and so they give them money. And so the service that you provide to the restaurant helps the restaurant be valuable to people. So you provide value to people inherently. And it is objectively proven that you provide value to people because you receive money in return for the value that you provide.
I hadn't looked at it in that light. So I mean, you're right for sure. I just feel like,
That's what having a job is.
yeah, well, yeah. I just feel like it just to provide value, it has to have a little bit like a deeper meaning, like doctors or teachers or like something like that, like life altering in some way.
See, I feel like that's a big myth that, like, to help people or have an impact, you have to be, a freaking rocket scientist person. You know, you help people on a micro scale.
Yeah. I just like to do something bigger.
Do you have any ideas of what bigger thing you would like to do?
I would like to enter the medical field someday.
And by the way, you know, I think it's good that you're like aiming higher. It's always good to be aiming higher. But I wouldn't look at what you're currently doing as not contributing to society. I think that you currently contribute to society, you objectively provide value to other people, and you are now looking to, you currently provide value to people, and you're looking, you know, hey, how could I provide even more value to society than what I'm currently providing? Which is a good struggle to be having.
Yeah, interesting. I've never really looked at it in that light. I've always just felt kind of like, not, this is going to sound a little harsher than I mean it to be, but useless, essentially. In, like, grand scheme of things.
No, I don't think you're useless.
And that's not in, like, a bad way. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, if I wasn't, I would already be going to school. Like, be re-enrolled and everything like that. But just something to sit with.
Why haven't you gone to school?
I actually did start school, and then I stopped going because my ex and I bought a house together at the ripe old age of 19, and then we had a bad breakup and sold the house, and I just haven't re-enrolled. So I stopped going to school so I could work more so I could pay for the house.
Are you still paying for the house?
No, we sold it, so that part's done. I'm living at home now, so that kind of this part. I'm living at home after owning a house. Like, I'm working a waitress job, not going to school anymore. Like, I was doing more, and then now that I'm not, I feel like.
Oh, well, so then what's stopping you from re-enrolling? If that's what you want to do.
Well, at first it was like COVID. I can't do in-person classes,
Sure.
and I don't learn well with online classes. So
Understandable.
So I was just waiting for the classes to open up in person again.
Okay, and in the meantime, you're saving up money, living at home, which is good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Not too bad. Just feels like an NPC thing.
I don't know why that feels like an NPC. I mean, you're an NPC is like, well, okay, think about it like this. You're more like in the RPG when the guy goes into like the item shop to regain health and strength by
That's
getting,
exactly,
you're the shopkeeper. And look, the main character, whatever, needs, you provide the characters with value as you give them food.
Yep.
And then in the meantime, no, I actually think you're in a good position. You're saving up money, living at home, and you can fucking re-enroll. It sounds like you can. It was a good decision. I'm glad you sold the house. And you don't have to pay for the house anymore. And now you're in a good position to re-enroll whenever you feel like you can do that. And in the meantime, you're not like wasting away time. You know, you're providing value to society and making money in return. I think that is pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you. This was a very nice call.
Good. I hope that this inspires you to think less poorly about your situation and more optimistic for the future.
Thank you. It absolutely does. It does make me feel better to be recognized in a different light, in a different perspective.
There we go. You've been perceived.
Ugh. I don't know if I'm... All right. Yeah. I'll accept it. I've been perceived.
What did you say your name was? You never told me your name.
Oh, it's Taylor.
Well, thank you so much for calling and sharing, Taylor. I wish you best of luck in the future.
Thank you, Lyle. You as well.
Good night.
Good night.
Call from
Rudd?
Rudd.
Oh, hey. What's up?
Not much. What's up with you?
Hello. Oh, just hanging out. Just
That's
finished
cool.
playing some video games, and I saw Therapy Gecko was online, and I thought, hey, I could use some Therapy Gecko in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you think you could use a little bit of Therapy Gecko in your life?
I think everybody a little bit of Therapy Gecko in their life.
Hey, you think everybody could use a little bit of Therapy Gecko in their life? Is that what you're saying?
I think Therapy Gecko can make just the world a better place, the world a happier, less more therapeutic environment. So,
Well, I don't know.
I was
about
like,
that.
oh, let me call and talk to this wonderful gecko.
You thinking all these positive, you're saying all these positive things about me, but what if I turn out to be horrible? Like,
Well,
what if I
then,
have a deep secret that you don't know,
I-
that if you found out, you would think I was evil.
Try me. Now I'm intrigued.
No, I mean, I don't have one. I don't think I do. But what if I did? I just
If you
think you should
did,
be.
then-
I just think, look, we've been talking a lot about optimism. All right, we've been talking a lot about reading positive intent. And I think it's good. And I think that what you're doing is good. I like the way that you're operating here. But I do think that you should have, like, just in your pocket, just be like, what if? I don't know. I don't know what it would be, but like, just what if this guy has like a terrible dark secret?
Well, I have to say, it's a good point.
I don't think so. I don't think I have a terrible dark secret.
Well, I hope you don't have a terrible dark secret. But, I try to see the good in everybody. So even if you did, have a terrible dark secret, I would try to see some rationality in that. So
Really? So you would try to rationalize my terrible dark secret?
rationality, unless you're just a sociopath, in which case the rationality is you were just born with a chemical imbalance and there is no rationality inside of you.
Really? That takes a lot. Like, I don't want to bring up any like specific examples or anything because I don't want to get too crazy. But like, all right, we can both agree that there are people in the world that do heinous, horrible things, right?
Right.
And
Right.
How do you view those people? You like rationalize what you're able to rationalize what they do as like you can still like empathize with them.
Well, let's put it into perspective. I personally know some people who have done some pretty horrible things. And some of those people have gone away for a very long time. And some of those people have not. Some of those people have had reasons for doing some pretty horrible things. And, obviously they don't justify it, but they do give it some sort of perspective, I would say. And it doesn't make it right, but it makes you kind of, okay, I get it. I get it. And unless, like I said, the person's a sociopath and just has absolutely no emotion, at the end of the day, most of the people who did the horrible things that I know do have remorse for the things that they did. So I do believe that there is some sort of understanding in every terrible action that somebody can do, unless you're just an awful person. Which, granted, I don't mean to say sociopaths are all awful people, because some of them are like, they realize that, like, I can't feel emotion towards people, so I'm just going to try not to be a scumbag.
Wow. I'm very impressed because, seeing the good in people, like reading positive intent, having an optimistic view that human beings are generally good and that life is generally good and that, all that stuff is easy to do, except when it's really hard. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes like it's really hard. But some people,
Yeah.
they show up for it and they're like, no, despite this, I still believe that humanity is good.
Well, I always say that, back to the logic thing, which is humanity. I think humanity is good, but I really just think that evil people and their evil deeds, let's say evil things, are just the breakdown of logic. So evil arises when logic, it just doesn't exist. So, like, it's illogical, you said in the last call, to kill and eat somebody. That's not logical. That's not a logically sound thing to do. So that would be considered an evil thing to do, in my opinion.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, that's so. I mean, if it's not logically sound, then it's an evil deed. And I've done some illogical things in my life myself, so I don't exempt myself from that category. But I do think that people are inherently good.
So if you think it's illogical, if someone does something something bad that is illogical, you think it's purely evil.
I think, yeah. Well, I think just illogical acts are purely evil, and that doesn't necessarily mean that an illogical act has to be bad. Like, it doesn't have to be like I mean, I can be illogical when I'm trying to take a test. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing or an evil thing. But I just think, you know, evil acts when it comes to peer to peer tend to be illogical.
So if someone kills and eats someone, you consider that how is that? All right, but so if someone kills and eats someone, and there's the logic is that there's something so like wrong with them mentally that causes them to do that. Does that in your eyes make that evil?
Yeah, I mean, it makes it so there's a chemical imbalance. I mean, like you just said, so logically to them, it's not illogical. So I wouldn't say it's evil. I would say it's, at that point, it's necessary. Like, because you have people who do not have, you know, substantial grasps on empathy and logic, and they're absolutely necessary to the natural order of things. So I wouldn't necessarily consider that evil. I would consider it a necessary thing to exist, so that way we have some sort of basis to reflect upon the good and the evil. And I think that evil comes when people who know what's right and know what's good choose to do the illogical thing and do what's wrong.
See, all this is why I fuck so heavily with dogs.
Dogs are chill. You know what's crazy? I'm a cat guy.
You're a cat. Cats too. Because if a dog does something bad or even good, it's dogs. They don't know the difference between right and wrong, so they're just inherently pure. They're not like Machiavellian. They're just dogs. They're just there. They don't think about right or wrong, and they don't think about the logic behind their actions. They just do things. That's why you can trust dogs.
Yeah. And dogs are pretty chill. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even expect you to answer when you called, so I didn't even have anything really prepared to talk about. So I was just like, let me see if I can get therapy, Gecko. And I got therapy, Gecko.
My stream, and I don't ever have anything prepared to talk about except the question that I didn't even ask you.
Right. Yeah. I respect that. I mean, that's the way to do it, is just go off the cuff.
So how do you think this went?
I think this went, I feel pretty therapeutic so far. I feel like I've been therapied well. I've never been to a therapist before, except for that one time where my school mandated it when I was in my junior year in order for me to come back after a long-term suspension.
I'm not a real therapist. I'm just a Gecko guy on the website where people speed run Super Mario 64.
Well, to me, I think you're a real therapist. To me, you're a real therapist. So there we go.
I think that's a dangerous thing to call myself.
I think it could get you into some trouble if you start advertising yourself as real therapy.
What's your name was?
My name is Rudd.
Thank you so much for calling.
Like R-U-D-D. Well, thank you for taking my call, Mr. Therapy Gecko. It has been a pleasure.
Rest of the night.
You too.
Call from
Fletcher.
Fletcher?
Oh, no way.
Way.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
That's good to hear.
You seem distraught.
Yeah, I think I called like 200 times. I was calling you a lot the other day.
Why?
I had something to tell you. It was the night of my senior prank.
Your senior prank?
Yeah. You know, all the seniors go out, do something.
Why were you calling me on the night of your senior prank?
Well, because I was just about to go out and do it, and I think the topic was like something related to it.
What was it?
Well, so we got like 50,000 forks, right? And then we went out to our football field. We had like 40 people, and we stuck them in the ground.
You stuck 50,000... How many forks do you say?
Yeah, 50,000.
You stuck 50,000 forks in the ground.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, you got to see it. I mean, if you want to see it, I could tell you my buddy's TikTok. It's like,
no, I mean, like, what is the point of it? Like, what does it do?
Well, the point was, like, it looks funny because, like, the forks, you know, they're just in the ground. And, it looked like, if you looked at it from a certain angle, it looked like snow. And it's Florida, so, but, like, it looked like snow. But the funny part was going to be, like, people picking them up. But we got caught, like, with all the cops and all this stuff. So, like, we actually ended up picking it up.
Oh, so you didn't even get away with it?
Oh, no. We got, maybe 15 of us got caught. But then, the rest of us...
Yeah, how many people does it take to stick 50... I mean, that's a lot of forks.
That's it. No, it was a lot of forks.
How many people did you have working on this operation? Whose idea was this? Was there a vote? I want to know what other, options there were that this beat out.
Right. Okay, so that's the thing. I just got a call from a buddy, and he was like, yo, he pulled me in on it. He sent me into a group chat. I'm like, so we're putting forks in the ground. That was my first. That was what I thought too. I was like, forks? But then someone sent me a video. They did it to someone's yard, and I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. So we just hopped on it. We're like, all right. But it took, 40-something people. And we had just duffel bags and trucks, 4 trucks filled with forks.
This is where did you source 50,000 forks? Where did you get them from?
Oh my God. Yeah, we cleared out our Sam's Club and our Costco, and then we had Walmart.
They're plastic forks.
Yeah. And we made Walmart restock on them twice.
What's 50,000 divided by 40? That's at least 1,000 forks. That's over 1,000.
Yeah, a little bit over
1,000 forks per person.
Yeah.
I think you guys kind of pranked yourselves with this one. That sounds grueling.
Well, I mean, the outcome was really good. I mean,
I still don't get the outcome.
Well, see, it didn't go as planned because we got caught and we had to pick him up. But it looked funny. It really does look funny.
How was it supposed to go?
Well, it was supposed to go, we all just put the forks in, leave the way we came, and then the APs, our teachers and counselors or something, or maybe the juniors, have to go out there and pick them up. That was the outcome. Because imagine having to pick, putting them in, just sticking and doing that.
By the way, putting them in sounds more grueling than taking them out. Taking out 50 forks is way easier than... I mean, you did the majority of the work for this.
No, it's definitely not.
I feel like this prank is very the ire was self-inflicted as opposed to given to someone else.
Well, I mean,
But that's just me. You know what I'm gonna do? What'd you say your name was?
Fletcher.
Fletcher. I'll look it up. I'm gonna look. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
Google image
you wanna
search
see
field of forks. You don't have to. I'll find it on the internet. But if maybe I'll see it and I'll laugh and I'll get it then. But just it described to me.
If you go on TikTok, and probably just go to like
I'll find
senior
it. I'll
prank,
find it. Well,
something
thank
like
you so
that,
much
yeah.
for calling in, Fletcher. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, dude, thank you. You have a good
rest
one,
of the
Jack. Yeah.
Call from
Lillian?
Lillian.
Oh my
Lillian.
goodness. Hello.
How are you?
How are you? Wow, this is exciting.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah, very exciting. How are you?
You know, I'm all right. I'm chilling. I'm in the sky. I'm on the
Yeah.
computer. I'm living.
Yeah, Gecko, you're really good. You seemed a little cranky earlier.
Did I?
A little. I don't know. I just wanted to do like a mental health check.
Oh, I'm doing a bit.
Oh, okay. Cool.
This whole thing is a bit.
A bit of what?
You know, like a bit.
A bit of what?
It's like therapy, Gecko. It's a joke. It's a bit.
Okay, well, I was doing a bit at you. I'm sorry. Hey, Lyle, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good.
What did you do today, Lillian?
What did I do today? I got some bubble tea because I'm addicted to bubble tea. It was really good. I had a really long work day, so I was like, I'm gonna treat myself after work.
What do you work as?
I work with children. I teach them how to read.
It's an important skill. But it is getting faded out a little bit. It's becoming less and less important to know how to read.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I like reading. I haven't actually picked up a book in kind of a minute, but I did enjoy reading as a kid, so I like sharing.
You know, most kids, they get a lot of their information from, you know, YouTube and from audio. It's important to know how to look at things and listen to them, but reading words, you know, it's getting less and less important, I think, in 2021.
Yeah, you might be right. That's kind of sad that you say that because I only recently realized that I wanted to go on this life path of teaching children to read. So
You can
maybe
teach children how to watch YouTube videos.
Oh, they know how to do that better than I do.
Exactly. See, they don't even need to read.
I guess that's true. That's true.
Are you ridiculous?
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty ridiculous, actually.
Really? What is ridiculous about you?
Oh my gosh, where to start? Honestly, I feel like I like to mess with people a little bit. Like I'm a big fan of pranks. And just like not like I don't like pranks that are like really aggressive. Like but I like to mess with people a little bit. Like
Did you hear the guy that we had earlier who with the fork?
Yeah.
What did you think of that prank?
I really like that prank.
What? Can you explain it to me? I had no idea what he was talking about.
Okay, so imagine this. You come to school. Imagine you're like a sophomore in high school and you're driving up to school and you're passing the football field. But wait, something's off. There's a huge field of silver. What is going on? And you realize...
No, they're plastic.
Oh, they're plastic. Okay, so it's a whole field of plastic. And then you're like, whoa, what the fork is that? It's fork. It's hilarious.
You know what? I'm glad for that guy's sake that I'm the crazy one here that doesn't understand what the fork thing is. I'm glad. That's the thing is with everything. All you need is one you just need one person to get it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him that he has at least you that understands what that was.
Yeah, I mean, pranks pranks are great. I mean, my senior prank was a bunch of crickets that were left out in the hallway, which I think was not a very good prank.
Crickets in the hallway. All right, but that's a little bit. That's that's less of a prank and more of like a plague.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely more creative than the forks. Because like
Really?
if someone's because how do you get crickets? Where do you get them from?
Petco.
That's
just
funny
go
though.
to the-
I like the cricket thing better than the fork thing.
I don't know. Crickets are like yucky. I mean, not like someone actually has to clean up crickets. Like you have to call like an exterminator for that. I don't know.
Exactly. It's
Anyways.
a lot more work than the fork thing.
Yeah.
What that guy was going for with the fork thing was creating as much difficulty and stress and hardship as possible for the people that he was pranking. And he could have accomplished that much more with crickets in the hallway than with the forks.
Maybe. I don't know. I like silly things like that seem a little bit useless, but are noticeable. Like those are my favorite kind of pranks.
I interrupted you. You were talking about the pranks that you like to pull off.
Oh, I mean, I like to do like silly pranks. Like a classic one I like to do. If I'm like invited to a party, I guess it's been a while since COVID and whatnot, but I'll go to the dollar store and buy like, those like big tubes of like farm animals or like dinosaurs or whatever. And I'll fill my purse with them, and then I'll get to the house and I'll just casually throughout the evening leave little plastic toys around the house. And people will be like, where did this horse come from? Where did this dinosaur come from? And no one knows that it's me. And it's like, again, really kind of dumb, but I'm over here giggling and everyone else is just confused. I mean, my pranking is purely ridiculous to me, and that's kind of why it's great.
So you're kind of giving these people gifts.
I guess, yeah. Well, this is just like one example. I guess another example.
Do you keep do they get to keep the animal figures, or do you take them back at the end of the night?
I've only been discovered one time, and it was only because the party was kind of small, and I wasn't being as sneaky about it as I could have been. But it's something I do pretty often.
And what happened when you got caught?
I just like denied it for a while, and then the next time I was at the house, I saw like a little plastic dinosaur, and I'm like, hey, I put that there. And everyone was like, oh, we knew it. I don't know. Yeah, pranks are just
How did you come up with the idea to do that?
I just like to fuck with people in like the least cruel way. Like I just like to get like a little giggle out of people. Just like makes life silly, like little things.
What was the other thing you were going to tell me about?
So the prank is actually this phone call. My name isn't actually Lillian. It's actually a play on Lyle Forever. So like the Lillian part, right? Lyle, and then Forever, like Lillian, like gazillion. It's kind of a stretch. Anyways, the prank is that I actually know who you are and you know who I am. And I just wanted to say hi. What's up?
How do we know each other?
Well, we went to high school together, so I thought that the crickets would give it away. So I'm surprised you don't remember that.
I never heard of crickets being... What letter does our high school start with?
It starts with an O.
We did not go to high school together.
We didn't go to high school together?
We did not go to high school together.
Wait, then how do I know you?
What letter does the second word in the high school you went to start with?
Oh, did you go to the other high school?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that. I'm a little older than you. But that's okay because
my high school had that prank. Anyways, but we do know each other, and this was kind of a prank call. I just wanted to say hey and tell you that you're doing great and you're doing amazing, and I'm really proud of you guys.
Thank you, Lillian. I appreciate that very much. And you know, this was a nice prank. I'm honored to be pranked by you.
Okay,
You have a good rest of the night, Lillian.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one, Lyle.
Call from
Asia.
Asia.
Hi.
What's up, Asia? Asia, how old are you, dude?
I am 19.
You're 19. How old
My heart is
that?
racing right now. I didn't actually
Why
think
is your
this
heart
was gonna
racing?
happen. I didn't think this was actually going to happen.
Who's your heart rate? What's your heart racing against?
My chest.
What'd you do today?
I worked all day
As what?
as a food runner at a bar.
You ran food at a bar.
Yes.
What's this bar? What's the most delicious item they have on the menu?
Pizza.
What's so
Which is
delicious
weird
about it? Is it the bread or the sauce or the cheese?
It's like thin crust pizza. So like the cheese and the sauce is just like even with the bread. It's like a good equation for everybody.
And why is it weird?
Why is it weird?
You were saying it's weird, and I interrupted you.
It's weird because it's an Irish pub, so it's like, why do they sell pizza?
Is pizza not Irish?
I don't think it's Irish. I thought it was like Italian.
Who are you?
I don't think I'm anybody, to be honest.
You don't think you're anybody?
No.
What do you mean by that?
I just feel like we're kind of on a rock and nobody's kind of anyone.
So if nobody's anyone, does that mean that anyone can be anyone, theoretically?
Possibly. Definitely an
So
option.
if I'm not me, and I have no claim to my identity, does that mean that you could be me if you really wanted to, because no one's already taking up the space?
Oh my God, you're asking me really deep questions. I don't think I'm high enough for this conversation.
Why do you have to be high for this conversation? Well, I think that would hurt you in that sense, because then you would be all distracted and hungry.
I for some reason, whenever I smoke, I don't get hungry. I actually get really paranoid.
Really? What do you get paranoid about?
I'm not sure. It's like everything. I overthink situations too much.
Are you what do you think about this situation that you're in right now?
I'm terrified.
You're terrified?
Because
walk me through this real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to hear what you were going to say.
Oh, no, it's all right. You go. I'm sorry.
No, I had nothing to say.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't know. I feel like sometimes people dial in because they have something they want to say, and sometimes, you don't think it's actually going to happen. You're like, wow, it would be amazing, but it's not something you think that's actually possible. I didn't think this would happen tonight.
So you are saying that sometimes people call into this stream because they have something to say, but do you not believe that you have something to say?
I feel like maybe I don't. I don't know. I just ramble sometimes. Like my words don't have a meaning.
Deep within you, Asia, for something to say, what do you think that would be?
Anything?
Anything. Before we go.
I think I would say that I wish that the foundations of what we live off now didn't exist. Like, I wish that we didn't have a currency, or we didn't have all these rules that we try to live by every day. I wish we could just go back to just being little cavemen when living off the land and we didn't have to worry about like beauty standards and wealth and all this stuff, just surviving would be nice. Living.
Here's the thing, is that you can't determine what society values. I mean, you can attempt to influence society, but that's a little hard. What you can do is determine what is important to you, right? So, you know, you might think, oh man, society overvalues certain beauty standards. It overvalues acquiring large amounts of wealth. But in reality, I mean, that has nothing to do with you. You know, what do you value personally? And how can you live in more aligned with those values? And you should focus on that, and I wouldn't even pay attention to what society values, and pay more attention to what you value and how you can better live towards those values, because like what society values is an illusion and you can't hold yourself to it.
Oh, that's very well said.
Good luck, Asia.
Thank you. You too.
Call from
Charlie.
Hey man, how's it going?
It's all right. How's it going with you?
Going good. I don't know if you remember me, but we spoke a while back.
How long ago?
Maybe like a month or two ago. We were going off, coming up with other names like Charlie Unicorn, Charlie Bit My Finger.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
How have you been since?
I've been on the struggle bus actually, but hey, you know, we all have to go through that at some point.
Hey, I'm on speakerphone right now.
No.
You sound very far away.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my god, you actually are, like, you sound even more far away.
Oh no.
Before. No, now you sound okay. You sound alright. The struggle bus. Why a bus?
I don't know. That's the term they say, right? Just the person that comes to mind, the struggle bus.
Who are you, Charlie?
Who am I? I'm a therapist. I'm a brother. I'm a son. I'm honest. I'm insecure. I'm curious. I'm jaded, thoughtful, jealous. The list goes on. I'm a lot of things.
Who aren't you?
Who aren't I? I think I'm not someone who wants to put bad out in the world. I want to try to do good.
You know, I have a saying.
It
is very bad to be very bad. And it is good to be good. And also, it is good to not be bad, and bad to not be good too. And it is also good to be good as well.
Mm.
And it is also very good and really quite good to be good.
Beautiful. Inspiring. Gotta get a tattoo of that.
Thank you. So you're a real therapist. You're a licensed therapist.
Yeah.
What's that like? I've had people tell me a lot. They're like, you should get a license to be a therapist. And I'm like, would be terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's got its ups and downs. But yeah, it's a struggle. But I mean, the whole industry is really, like, to get a license is a pain. To go to school is very expensive. It takes a while. If you can only practice in the state that you get your license in.
Really?
So that's kind of limiting too. Yeah, I mean, you can get licensed in another state, but the whole process and costs more money.
What? I need to know. I need to know. What do you learn in the process of getting what do you know that people who are not licensed know that you use to do the job of therapy correctly. Because I've had terrible therapists. Every therapist I've had is a licensed therapist, and some of them are just terrible.
Yeah. There is no secret. Like, the things they teach in schools, like if you're to go, like you're mentioning with the other guy, like high school or college or whatever, it's like there is no secret to it. It's like they've even proved this statistically. It's like if you cannot connect as like a human being, you're not going to be effective despite how many quote unquote years of experience that you have.
Yes.
So there really is no secret to it. It's all about being a good person and being able to connect the person in front of you. That's really what it boils down to. Sorry to bust the bubble, but that's really what it boils down to. Like, you can have all these acronyms and specific theories that have been developed by master therapists, but like it really boils down to human connection.
Damn.
I know.
See, it's different. Like if you were like a doctor, like a surgeon. Like a surgeon, and that's sort of what I'm getting at now. I'm not like trying to say anything. I'm inquiring of you. You know, no, I'm serious. Like a doctor, a surgeon is a licensed surgeon. They have a license to cut you open and move stuff around because they have the hard skill of they know where your tits are in relation to your heart and your intraveins and your stuff, and they know how to shift it all together, and they read the book about how to make the heart good and stuff. They know the logistics of what they're doing, but there's not a lot of logistics to therapy in that same sense.
No, that's true. I mean, I guess the only thing we'd have on that is that you're paying someone with the aim that they wouldn't be an asshole to you. Like, they are trying to do what they know is best to help you out with whatever you're struggling with. It's kind of a roll of the dice, but you can't talk to your friends about everything, and some people sadly don't have friends or family to talk to you about what's going on, and holding that in is not good for anyone.
But do you at least have like a technique of some kind, or how would you describe that technique?
Yeah, CBT, so like cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's essentially got roots in like a philosophy called stoicism as well. So essentially, focus on the thoughts. The thoughts influence your actions. Actions and the like influence behavior. So if you can influence how someone thinks, you can influence how they view the world, and hopefully twist that a little bit to make sure they're not interpreting everything as, like, for example, a threat. If I'm viewing everything I'm going around me as a threat, then guess what? Good things could come my way, and I won't even see it. I'll just always be on guard and hostile.
It's true.
So that's my kind of bread and butter. It's like, it's focus on the thoughts a little bit here.
Does that help you in your own personal life as well?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, thinking back how I was like in high school, for example, I probably could have used a little bit of that touch myself. The fact that, everyone's not out to get you kind of thing. The world's going to be the world. What can you do with what's in front of you? What can you control, for example? Focus on what you can control versus what you cannot control. And that right there leads to a lot of strength for a lot of folks.
I agree. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Charlie.
My pleasure here, Gecko.
I really need to. I heard that, like, if I could get Gecko, I've thought about this. this. If Gecko came to me and they were like, I'll give you a bunch of money to sponsor your stream. I've thought about if I would do it, because
do it.
But then the joke, like the Gecko jokes that I get all the time, they'll never stop. I will forever be the Gecko guy.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have the opportunity, you might as well like profit from it. Like, what do you got to lose? You're gonna get those jokes anyway. So you might as well capitalize on it.
True.
I think give a shot.
Well, thank you for the motivation.
You got it. I believe in you.
Thank you, Charlie. You have a good rest of the night.
Likewise, you too, man. Take it easy.
Call from
Deal.
Hello.
Hello.
What did you say your name was?
Geo.
Geo.
Yes.
What year were you born?
1996. So one of those nice kids.
Am I on speakerphone right now?
Yeah, you are. Let me just put you
Could
on
take
my...
me off of speakerphone.
My bad. I'm watching the stereo. No, you're not. No, you're on my ear.
Are you ridiculous?
What? Yeah, I am, kind of.
Only kind of?
Yeah, well, define ridiculous. I'm the type of guy that does ridiculous stuff on a certain level. Well, I tattooed my dog to my forearm. Is that ridiculous?
You tattooed... Well, first I thought you said you tattooed your dog.
No. I mean, I tattooed my dog and my forearm. I didn't actually, tattoo my actual dog. That'd be animal cruelty.
So you tattooed a depiction of your dog on your arm?
Yes, correct. Do you know the Shiba Inu, the Chem's meme? The dog that just sits in a corner?
I'm familiar with various Shiba Inu memes, yes.
Yes. Well, I own a Shiba Inu, a white one, so I decided to take a portrayal of said Shiba Inu and put him in a manner that looks exactly like him. So basically, I named my dog into my forearm, and my mom is about to find out tomorrow, so that's going to be ridiculous to find.
How do you think she'll react?
Well, she is a very religious person, the type of person that says that your body is a temple, that you can't paint it type of way. I already have 7 tattoos.
Does she not know about the other 7 tattoos?
Oh, no, she does, but it's been almost 2 years since I haven't done a tattoo because of, being busy and stuff and work. And, I kind of did this about 3 days ago, and I am excited to see her face, but at the same time, I'm not.
You know, my problem with the tattoos was that how old are you? You're like, what, 24, 23?
24, yeah, 24. I'm about to be 25 this
24.
year. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like all the thing, like when you're 80, or even when you're like 40 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you're gonna resonate with all the same things that resonated with you at 24? You know, I feel like
true,
you
but
lock
at
it
the
all
same
into
time,
your body.
yeah, no, true. But it's like, for example, most of my tattoos aren't. This was the only main tattoo that I really wanted to do because I gotta tell you, my dog. The reason why I wanted to do the tattoo, it was because of my dog. I was in a really dark place when I didn't have him, and then having something to love, kind of my English again, it's screwing up. My bad. This dog just
Is English
basically
not your first language?
No, it's Spanish.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that at all.
No, this is the second time calling. I called the last time. I'm the guy from Puerto Rico. But anyway, the last time we were calling, it was really fun and everything. But as I was saying about the Shiba, I was kind of broke. This dog really just helped me basically be a better person. Helped to love myself before I could help other people, and just basically, yeah. I don't know, not have a dependency on other people. Just
well, what are the other is it one is the dog and the other one is fucking Tweety Bird or Bikini Girl? Or are they all things that are real things?
Yeah, one is from The Legend of Zelda. That's still video games. But it has a rose because my mother actually gave me a Game Boy Advance for the first time with the Legend of Zelda cartridge. So I kind of have a rose to commemorate her, and the tattoo of the first video game she bought me, Star Wars, because of my dad, and the rest are just, significant tattoos that kind of resonate with me in my past and have really deep Well, yeah, deep meaning.
I mean, I'm not personally a fan of tattoos. Not like for other people, but for me, I would rather just, if I really like something, I'll just get a T-shirt with it on there.
Yeah, no, obviously, and like I completely respect that. People always have. It's good
Maybe
to
a
know that
ball
people
cap.
like you have that respect.
I don't know. It doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah. Well, you're the therapy gecko. At the end of the day, you listen to people and you give your best opinion to make them feel good. So that's good enough for me.
I am the therapy gecko, and you are Geo. And this has been a call between the therapy gecko and Geo.
Yes, it has. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you.
Nice one. Bye.
Call from
Andy.
Andy.
Hi.
What's up?
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm a gecko.
That's good to hear.
We've talked before, haven't we?
No, we haven't.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Don't get too excited. This might not go well.
Oh. That's not good to hear.
Why not?
I'm afraid.
Well, I mean, it's the truth. This might not go well.
Okay.
I don't think it's something to be, emotional about.
That's fair.
It's just the truth. Every caller that's ever called in, it might not go well. But here's the thing: how do you define is something going well?
I don't know.
Well, then, that's great. I mean, so why are you nervous? Are you nervous that this won't go well? Are you afraid?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little high.
Everyone's been high tonight.
Really?
Yeah. You're like the third person in a row that's very high.
Yeah.
So what's up with you?
Oh, not much. I'm just...
How high are you on a scale from 1 to 10?
like a 7.
You're a 7 out of 10. That's pretty high, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. How long have you been watching the stream?
Well, it's only been like a week since I've kind of rediscovered you. One of my friends told me he called you like a little over a year ago, maybe. And I watched you for a little bit. Yeah. And then I kind of forgot about you. But I found you on TikTok and I remembered about it. And so here I am.
Is there any it's totally okay if there's not, but is there any thing that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, actually. I'm kind of afraid that all of my friends actually hate me.
That's true.
And wait, what? It's true?
No, not true. What I meant to say was, oh yeah, I get that, but what came out was that's true.
Okay. Got it. That makes more sense.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I don't know. Just that I feel like I'm really annoying to them. And
do you think that you are annoying?
Yeah, kinda.
Do you like that about yourself, or do you not like that about yourself?
I don't like that.
Why do you think you're annoying?
I don't know. It's just there's no real logic or reason to it. It's just something I've been thinking about a lot.
There's no logic or reason to it whatsoever?
No.
Do you think you do annoying things?
No.
If there's no... look, if there's no logic or reason to it, then you're probably not annoying.
That's true. It's a good point. I don't know.
A lot of the times, people have these idiosyncrasies that some people think are annoying, and then other people think are endearing.
Yeah.
and
That's
you
true.
kind of have to find the people out there who jive with you. And you know, being rejected or having other people think you're annoying does not necessarily mean that you are cursed for everyone to hate you all the time. It just might mean that you are not very compatible with those people, whether they be friends or romantic people. But I guess what's most important, I think, is what you think of yourself.
I don't know what I think of myself.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I'm going to college next semester, and I'm gonna be roommating with this guy I work with.
Nice.
And so, but I kind of feel like, you know, the same thing, that I'm annoying to him, and it's kind of like, I don't know, been making me really afraid to go to college.
What do you think of him?
I think he's cool. I've worked with him for a while. I worked with him at my old job, and then we both applied to our new job at the same time.
This is an interesting subject. I think about this a lot. I probably thought the same thing when I was 18. Not necessarily like with annoyingness, but with like, you know, insert trait here, insert perceived negative trait here. I think people think about me. You know, well, I think it's one of those things that, I mean, it's definitely difficult when you're 18, but I think it comes with age. I think you care less as you get older what other people think about you.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm very vain in that way too. Like, I'm always focusing on what people are paying attention to me, and to make sure I don't like do something that would be perceived as weird to them or something like that. You know, just making these completely irrational judgments of myself because I think other people are judging me for them.
Let me ask you, do you judge other people a lot?
No, I mean, maybe a little, but I kind of try not to. I just, like, I'm friends with everybody, kind of. You know, I'll try to be nice to everybody and at least get to know them whenever I meet them.
Okay, so you don't judge other people. You try to be nice to other people. These are all your words, right?
Uh-huh.
So why do you think you're annoying?
I don't know.
If you
I mean, like,
believe that you're putting in these good faith efforts.
I feel like I talk a lot, and that people, like, maybe like I talk too loud. I have ADHD, but I didn't like find that out until just a few months ago. So I kind of went my whole life with just kind of being untreated for that, and not, you know.
Have you gotten treated for it? Let me ask you a question, actually. Have you talked about this with a real therapist?
No, I haven't.
Should do that. I'm very curious what they would say. Anytime I get into these conversations, and by the way, you know, I'm totally not blowing you off because I think about this. This actually is a this whole I love these topics because, you know, I've dealt with it and a lot of people deal with it, and it's just, I want so badly. I want for myself, and then I want for other people just to fucking not give a shit what other people think. And I know that when you're young, like, you care more what other people think.
Right.
But dude, double down on it. Be more annoying. Run around campus with bells and whistles and talk like Pee Wee Herman and shit.
I would hate myself.
Well,
I hate the idea of like standing out.
Why?
I don't know. Just because I don't want to call attention to myself. Because I don't want too many people to pay attention to me, you know?
I understand that. I kind of feel similar. Which, like, I know doesn't make sense because I'm streaming and shit, but...
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Oh, yeah. like I'll just like if I'm standing somewhere like in a line for something or whatever it is I'm doing, just standing there, I'm constantly worried about the way I'm standing because I think like I'm standing just abnormally or whatever.
Yeah. I want to think about this more because if I could tell you this, it's like I have felt that way before, and I definitely wouldn't say that like. And I know I'm talking about myself, but I'm trying to use it as like an example because I felt that way before. And I know I've gotten better at it, so I know it's possible. And I have to think more about like. How it is done, but there's a lot of like inner work to be done and like discovery of like this like inner confidence you have to learn how to build, where you just don't care what other people think. I know it's hard, but it is possible.
That's good to hear.
And you're only 18, right?
Right.
It absolutely will get better with age. So that's what I'll tell you. At the very least, is that I think as you get older, you'll care what other people think of you less. Yeah. But why wait?
Okay. That makes sense.
And go talk to a real therapist too. See what they say.
Yeah, I tried to set up an appointment with a therapist, and like I called their office or whatever, and then they said they were going to send me an email about something, and then I never got the email, and I haven't tried since.
Fucking therapists.
Yeah.
We'll try again.
I will.
What'd you say your name was?
Andy.
Good luck, Andy. Thank you for calling, man.
Thank you.
Call from Isabella.
Isabella.
Hi.
Isabella!
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
What did you do today?
Homework. I'm in college. I also had I'm in a sorority, so I had an exec meeting.
What goes on at these executive meetings?
We just we argue with each other.
About what? What did you argue about today?
Today, well, our school is hosting this thing called Greek Week, and some of us think that it's a bad idea because our campus was just shut down because a lot of our students have COVID right now. So the school still wants to have Greek Week, but some of us are we shouldn't have Greek Week.
What is involved in having Greek Week? What is the event?
Basically, it's a whole week of competition. So there's one day where we do this silly dance. There's another day where we have a scavenger hunt. So there's another day when we paint banners. So it involves a lot of gatherings. So we were just trying to figure out exactly what we want to say to the school about why we shouldn't have Greek Week.
Do you think we should have Greek Week?
No.
Or they should have Greek Week?
No, I don't think it's a good idea, especially since we got shut down for COVID.
What made you want to join a sorority in the first place?
Well, I'm an out-of-state student, so I go to this really small university, so a lot of the students already know each other from just being from the same area. So I was oh, guess I'm gonna make some friends.
That actually sounds horrible. I don't know why anyone would ever want to do that. Not what you did. Well, I mean, I still actually, no, kind of what you did too, because the people who already went to the school, who are going to the place where they already know everyone, I don't know why anyone would want to do that, because, the whole point of going to college is meeting new people. But then don't you feel like everyone already knows each other? They already have their, group of friends formed or whatever?
So I guess I think it was really, fun for me to come, and I was, happy to get to know people, because, I'm from the north, and, school is in the south. So I was happy to meet all these people and learn about this thing, but it was hard to sort of make friends with people who already kind of knew each other, which is sort of why I was oh, I'll join a sorority because they have to talk to me.
Really? Yeah, a lot of people say that it's like buying friends. What do you think about that?
I agree. I 100% agree. Like when people are like, "Oh, you're in a sorority, you buy your friends." I'm like, I do buy my friends.
You know what? I respect that. I respect that. A lot of people would be on the defensive about that, but I like that you openly admit it. Let me ask you something, Isabella. Are you ridiculous?
Very much so. I'm not going to say I'm not.
Why do you believe that you are very much so ridiculous?
I'm really, really high strung. Like, I need to have a plan for everything. Like, every little thing I have a plan. Like, I make a to-do list every morning. And if I, like, don't check something off my to-do list, like, I feel bad.
That's very type A.
Yes.
Did you do everything on your to-do list today?
I did do everything on my to-do list today.
That's impressive, honestly. I constantly always expect at least one thing on the to-do list to not make it.
I guess maybe are you, like, putting things that are, like, realistic on your to-do list?
Yeah. I think I just put too many of them on there.
I feel like that, too, sometimes. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. There was, like, a timer. Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, good. But yeah, so I feel like I'm really careful about my to-do list, but I'm friends with a lot of people who are like very go with the flow. So sometimes they're like, Isabella, it's okay to like let go and not like be so married to doing everything like that.
So is that an active effort on your part to try to be less type A?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, sometimes it's good to be type A and other times it's not. Like this weekend, I want to try and do something spontaneous.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure yet. I feel like that's part of being spontaneous. You don't really know until you like wake up and decide.
See, that was the test. That was what I was going to tell you if you had already had a plan.
I guess I'm glad I passed.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Isabella. You have a good night.
You too.
Call from
Natalie.
Natalie?
Hello?
What's up? Have we ever spoken before?
No, actually, I saw your stream or whatever like some months ago, but I first tried calling like 2 days ago. But everyone took up all the calls, so I missed it. But I really, really wanted to talk about the question that you had for the last stream.
Sure.
That was... Sorry, what?
Oh, I said sure.
Yeah, so the question was, what's something that other people aren't... What's something I think I'm good at that other people aren't?
Yes, the question was what's difficult for others but easy for you? Oh, you have a cat.
Yes, he's laying on me right now.
Hello, cat. All right,
His name is Squeaky.
What is Natalie? What is difficult for other people but easy for you?
Painting and drawing.
Painting and drawing.
Yeah. So I'm about to go to
call in to promote your art Instagram.
That wasn't the intention, but I can.
What were you going to say before I interrupted you?
I was going to say, yeah, I'm about to start art school, but it's kind of nerve-wracking because, I don't know, I used to think I was just going to be like a math teacher or something because people were always like, oh, you're going to be a starving artist. But...
Are you going into debt?
I guess I'll have student debt. I feel like I should know. But
should.
Yeah. Someone says art school is a waste of money. I feel like it kind of is, but
If you feel like it's a waste of money, why are you going?
well, I guess because it doesn't feel like it's my money, and like I don't know. I want to like meet people who are also interested in the same things as me.
Are your parents paying for it? Is the government paying for it?
A combination of both.
Yeah, that was my one sort of caveat for college. If you can get other people, I'm pretty anti-college, but if you can get other people to pay for it, that's the moves.
Exactly.
What do you want to do out of art school? Do you have any idea? If you could wave your magic wand, Natalie, and do anything, what would you do?
It's so hard. Honestly, maybe like an animator. I've been thinking about that in the past couple of days. Yeah, initially I was signed up to learn like fine arts because I wanted to have like my paintings in museums. But then I realized that my style kind of fits more with like illustration. So I think I'm gonna stick with illustration.
What was the last thing you illustrated?
Ooh, last thing I drew. I'm working on a painting right now. It's a painting of me biting like a cow's udder. It's
biting a cow's udder.
Yeah,
it's not like something from real life experience that you did, is it?
No. I've never. Honestly, I don't think I've seen a cow in real life. Oh no, I don't know.
I don't know if I've seen a cow in real life either. No, there's no way. We had to have seen cows in real life.
I know, right? At least one. But yeah, so...
Okay, why did you pick yourself biting a cow's udder?
Well, it's a part 2. The original piece that I made like 2 years ago was myself licking a cow's udder. And so the point behind that was like... at the time, I felt passionate about like femininity in a sense, and how like sometimes I feel like women feel like they need to do gross and disgusting shit, or really anyone, not specifically women, but do gross and disgusting shit that they normally wouldn't do, but in order to like please other people. So I kind of wanted to like have myself licking an udder to show that like it's shocking.
So in the piece is the thing that you're doing that other people that you're doing. So in the piece, it's supposed to be that you're licking this udder to please other people?
Yeah, I guess, to please the cow.
Oh, like sexually?
Yeah.
Do cows receive sexual pleasure from people stimulating their udders?
I don't think so. Also, I realized that the concept's kind of dumb because cows are female. But I mean, it still makes sense.
Well, I guess that's why you're going to art school, is to make your paintings have meaning?
Yeah, and be nasty.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I hope that your cow udder gets an A.
Thank you.
You have a good night.
You too.
Therapy geckos on the